my name is Rachel and I love crafting, and I promise I'm not becoming a resin channel, but I am doing another resin video. I swear there aren't going to be too many more full-length resin videos. Like, there's probably going to be a bunch of shorts of me just unmolding things because I just really love unmolding things. I'm like addicted to seeing what the finished item looks like when you unmold it. It's like when you put in all the different mica powders, and I just love seeing the finished result. So there'll probably be a bunch of shorts that are just me unmolding, but I'm not going to be doing a lot more full resin videos. But I did want to do this one because I had an idea and I wanted to experiment, and I bet if I just searched for it, 1,000 people have already done this. But I wanted to do it for myself. I haven't even searched. I haven't even looked up anyone else's video on this, although I'm sure, like I said, there's 1,000 of them. But this one's mine. So I had the idea, like, I do use all those mica powders in the molds and also to color the resin. And I was like, but what about old eyeshadows? Because eyeshadow is mostly mica, right? I mean, they have some other stuff in them, like binders and stuff. So I don't know how that'll affect it. But the base of it is mica, I think. So could I dye resins with old eyeshadows? So that's going to be our little craft for today. I have this really old Physicians Formula purples palette with that one gold in the center. And I bought myself a Mortar and Pestle off of Amazon because I feel like that it needs to be very finely ground to work properly. So let's get ourselves turned around to Craft Vision and give this a go. So the first thing we have to do is pop out some of these eyeshadows and grind them, finely grind them. So I am going to go for, not sure how easy these are going to be to get out. Maybe this, let's try this purple. And we're going to mix it with this shimmery pink color. All right, I think that should be more than enough. I usually only use a couple of small spoons of mica powder. So let's grind this up. I think because of the binders, it's hard to get it to actually go into a really fine powder. It like smooths out into a cream, and then when you scrape it back together, it's kind of flaky. Let me grind one more time. So you can see when you try to crush it, it just sort of goes into a paste almost. And then when you break it back up, it's kind of flaky. But we're going to see how this works. Okay, my voice is going to sound muffled because I'm wearing my face mask. I filled this up, as you can see. We're going to do three scoops of it. And I'm going to go stir this for 5 minutes. I'll be right back. Alright, so I've stirred it for 5 minutes, and the color is pretty, but it also is maybe a little chunky just because, like I said, I couldn't get it to a really fine powder. But we are going to put it in this mold and we will see what happens. And I am doing a coffin, of course. And I'm probably going to have to mix up a little more for the lid. Okay, so I'm going to go off camera and mix up some more for the lid. And I'll be right back. So I got my lid filled, and I think I actually made that batch a little bit darker. I actually think that color came out a little prettier. And I did also get this heat gun to replace the lighter for popping bubbles. But you have to be really careful with these because they're like mini hair dryers. And if you're not careful, you will blow the resin out of the mold. Okay, so I'm going to set these over to the side to cure, and we do have some resin left, so we're going to try one more experiment. I'll be right back. So we are going to try actually doing the mold painting like I do with mica powders, but we're going to use these eyeshadows instead. So alright, and we will put him over to cure as well, and I will see you guys in 24 hours to see how these turned out. So it's been about maybe 20 hours and everything is ready to unmold, and I'm going to start, I filled in, I didn't do this on camera, but I did do a couple of these because I did have a little extra that I needed to use up, and I used, like I did with this one, I used the eyeshadow to paint inside the mold and then poured the eyeshadow colored resin on top of it. So let's start here and see how these came out. Here is our first one, and I think that came out fairly well. It actually does work a lot like the mica powders, because you can see it's darker purple there because I did paint the mold in that one of the purple eyeshadows, and it has a nice little bit of shimmer to it. This one, it's a little harder to see. I think I used like the light pink color to paint the mold, so it didn't show up as well against the dark purple colored resin, but still you can see the details fairly well. And this one again came out pretty good. I used a darker purple there on the skull. You can see the little bit of contrast. And she came out pretty as well. Okay, so far I think that the eyeshadow is working fairly decently. Let's see how our cat came out. Ooh, actually the cat came out really nice. I used that goldish color from the eyeshadow palette, that gold color on his eyes, and kind of came out an interesting like green color, which is really cool, and then different shades of the purple throughout the cat to give him a little bit of different colors there. But yeah, they worked fairly well. Now let's do this coffin. And there are some various marks in here, I think from, I didn't clean the mold out first, and then there was some old mica powders in there, and you can see where they're kind of shimmering on top. And there might even be a few scratches. If there's scratches in the mold, they'll show up on your piece. And I think there might be a couple of small scratches in my mold now. But other than that, I think this came out kind of interesting. Like, the eyeshadow doesn't mix in as smoothly because I was unable to get it into a really fine powder, so it is a bit textured. And this has a mix of two different batches, so you can see it's more sheer here at the edges and then darker in the center where that second batch got poured in. But not bad. And here is our coffin. I got a few small bubbles in here, but overall not bad either. So I guess in answer to our question of can we use old eyeshadows to color our resin, the answer appears to be yes. It does work. I think the resins still work a little bit better, of course. And I imagine if I have, because I do have some, they're loose eyeshadows, they're not packed eyeshadows, so they wouldn't have the same fillers in it. They would probably work even better. And they also, like, just painting the molds with the various eyeshadows also worked really well. So now we know. And like I said, I'm sure 100 people knew this before me, but now I know. Yes, you can dye your resin with old eyeshadows. So now I have a use for all those old eyeshadows. If I run out of mica powders, because again, the mica powders do work better, but this was a fun little experiment. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please tell me down in the comment section below what you thought of this. And if you enjoyed my video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy the video, you can always give it a thumbs down, and please tell me all about it in the comments below. And please subscribe to my channel. And I hope everyone is just staying happy, healthy, and safe in this incredibly crazy world we are living in. And I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.